Well, Tom, hopefully another fantastic season ahead for the Rogues Gallery Syndicate. Just tell us a little bit about what you've got in the armoury this year, starting with the older horses, with the 3-year-olds.
Yeah, so it was obviously a terrific year last year, and I have to try and do it again now, as Tony was saying. But we've got some smashing 3-year-olds. Gina, a lovely little Big Zoo, who won a maiden nicely at Southwell earlier in the year. But he's by Zoo out of Making Eyes, who you might remember won a couple of listed races.
Hugo Palmer's,
yeah, absolutely. And he should stay 10 furlongs. So he's a really exciting horse because he's just done so well physically. He's a big horse, lots of scope to him, and filled out nicely. So we've really got high hopes for him. And he's high 70s currently now, but I'm hoping he could be one that's well handicapped through the year. And very exciting prospect. And we've got a real lovely mixture, really. There's a nice Lope de Vega filly called Rose State, who we bought in Ireland earlier on last year, and she's a smashing filly. She's been placed in a couple of maidens, and it looks to have done well from 2 to 3. And what else have we got? Rogue King, who's sort of well handicapped horse at Hope of 65. We sort of really try and buy nice pedigrees, nice sires, and he looks a really exciting prospect, I hope. And then Photosynthesis, he won for us earlier, a couple of weeks ago, and he's going to go, all being well, to Saturday to Kempton, and on Sunday at Kempton, and well bought by Tone again, and so a really nice mixture, really. Look forward to.
Yeah, so hopefully lots of races to be won there. Of course, this time of year is really about the kind of young horses coming through as well, the 2-year-olds, and how things are developing. How pleased have you been with your young bunch of horses that you've got? Yeah,
I suppose we really love, we work ourselves really hard. And so we're really looking forward to hoping we've got some nice horses there. It's a time of year when all your geese are swan anyway, and you are excited, but we've got some, I don't think we've ever had a bunch of 2-year-olds as exciting as this. They really are a lovely bunch, and just as a few to spring to mind, there's a lovely Blue Point filly called Penelope Valentine, and Blue Point had the most amazing year last year with 60 winners. I think he had odd, and she's out of a listed winning mare or listed place mare, and she looks a really nice prospect. And Rogue Millions, a Dubai we bought out of Niletti. Niletti, I think, won a Group 2 and a Group 3, and he's a really exciting prospect as well. And a real mixture. So there's some precocious ones. There'll be a Dandy Man there who looks nice, and called Rogue Endeavour, and we've got a Calix called Road Justice. I think Calix had a really good year last year, a nice solid start, and he could go on to do really well this year. So, very exciting prospects, and lots to look forward to. Some really choice bred horses, as you say, some well-bred ones. You've got the Breeze Ups coming up in a couple of months as well, so you might be replenishing the stock somewhat. But how many have you got in, and how many do you expect to take forward from the Breeze Ups this season? So, with Tones, we look at the sales a lot, and we'd always go through the catalogue. Tony go through the catalogue extensively, see what he likes, we can see what we like, and really try to sort of get together a list of horses that we could approach. I think it's always very important to sort of do as much homework as you can at the sales, because it's where you source your future sires for the next 2 or 3 years, hopefully. And so we've got the Breeze Ups coming up, and we've sort of got around about, gosh, we have 65, 70 horses, and probably nearly half those would be rogue horses. So a good 25 odd for the rogues, and then with the Breeze Ups, hopefully we can get busy there. And we had a bit of luck with Rogue Lightning from the Breeze Ups, and bought lots of winners from the Breeze Ups over the years, so hopefully we continue to do so. You mentioned Rogue Lightning, who came from the Breeze Ups. You've got a good spread of horses as well. You were talking about the kind of different distances they run over. Is there a type that you look for at the horses, or is there a formula, or are you kind of spreading the risk across a different portfolio, if you like? I think we just, pedigree is really important for us, and often the horses we tend to buy would have a good pedigree, but probably have a fault. And so they might be a bit incorrect, or might have an issue which lots of people might just not forgive them to, and it makes them affordable for us. And we've done well sort of buying horses that I always think that sort of between 30 to 75, 80 is a bit of a sweet spot. Don't get me wrong, you can get very well lucky, spending more money and spending less as well, but I think it's a good amount of money to try and buy a horse with a pedigree that's probably got a fault, might have a fault, and you can really sort of get lucky there, and hopefully you can manage whatever niggle they might have, and do well. So I think, working the sales is very important for us.
Now, you did just that with, your two stars from last year. You've mentioned Rogue Lightning and Rogue Millennium as well. If we go back to the sales and picking up Rogue Millennium, I mean, what was it that you saw at that early stage in her, and how, I guess, what was that journey like in kind of learning about her and realising that you had something good on your hands?
Yeah, I mean, incredible, really. I suppose what's, when we're at the sales and working with Tony, is that he's very forward-thinking and always, what about this, what about that? And when she was Dubawi, and so initially we thought, God, initially you think you probably wouldn't be able to afford her, but she was on the list, and she was a beauty, I thought. But at the time, the pedigree hadn't done much, had a chance of doing something. But she was a very good-looking physical, and she was plenty of size to her. So I think we felt that she's one that could do well with a bit of time. Obviously, she came recommended as well from a previous trainer, and then just to take us on that journey was extraordinary, really. And I suppose when you go racing with the syndicate of owners that were in Rogue Millennium, it just makes it so much fun going there with become friends and sort of going on that journey with them. And with Tony and all his family, and going from, Wetherby, where she won her maiden nicely, to then going to an Oaks trial, to going to the Oaks, as a 3-year-old, and then sort of things didn't quite work out for her after that. But then for her to do well from 3 to 4, and she just improved through the winter. And I suppose when they've got a nice page, you always get that chance they're going to improve. And then having the most fantastic year of the last year, where, she was always there or thereabouts most of the time. She ran pretty consistently all the way through, had plenty of runs, and just us on that journey. And when you start up, you want to go to the big days, and it's just the most unbelievable drug when you have those sorts of big days there, and to do it with everyone there, with such a lovely filly, who was a really, really special filly in herself. She I remember when she ran on the last day of the year in Champions Day, she worked with as much enthusiasm then as she did in March, and she's just a really, really lovely filly to have around. So, very special, and lovely to have had her. Was it a tough decision process to go to the sales with a filly like that, who was still thriving, as you say, in her racing career? I always feel in our game that what's so great about it is you can make lots of decisions which you can get you there quite quickly, and there's lots of different things that can go your way. And we make so many decisions every day, you're not going to get them all right. But I think on balance, it's definitely the right thing to have sold her. If any way you want a Group 2, she's got Group 1 black type. If she wins this year, a Group 1 this year, then fantastic. Hopefully she does. But if she doesn't, then it was definitely the right thing to sell. So I think it was the right decision. Tell us a little bit about Rogue Lightning's journey, and again, a horse you managed to pick up at the Breeze Ups. What was it about him that you were able to kind of see through, if you like? Again, so he's by Kodiak, who's a sire we really like, and he's a very good sire himself. And he actually breezed a really quick first furlong, and then sort of half fell in a hole. But he was a good-looking physical, and I remember at the time we all really liked him. And I think it's always quite nice when I'm there and Tone's there and Billy Jackson's ops were there, and we were really sweet on a horse. And he just was a very good-looking horse, I think, and we were. There was a few other Kodiaks at that sale that were selling for plenty of money, and so with sort of slightly more glossy pedigrees perhaps, or slightly bigger and a bit more presence to them perhaps at that time. But he just looked a real hardy racehorse right from the get-go, and so he was great to have him. And then he's just, as Tone was saying, he won nicely on debut, and he was second listed race there, and then things just didn't quite work out for him. Had a niggle back end of his 2-year-old year. Came back and we cut him, and then I think he just got quicker as well. He just shows so much speed. And he just really, I suppose as well, I think was really important with both Rogue Lightning and Rogue Millennium. They're ridden by a girl who worked for the last 5 years called Carrie Browning, and she did a fantastic job with them. She really did. She's always in and gives them so much love and attention, and really had a good bond with both the horses. And Rogue Lightning is quirky, and he can be quite keen, and we really sort of worked him out really with her help, and so I think that was really important for Rogue Lightning, having Carrie. And that gives a bit of an insight into you as a trainer, Tom, because you've done so well since it's been a meteoric rise, if you like, from
from when you started, and Rogues Gallery have been involved from the start. How, important have they been to you and your operation personally?
I just couldn't do it without them. Really, it's just been the most incredible journey, really. And I read quite a few sort of books on CEOs and things, and I really, really love talking things through with Tone, because he's so forward thinking about everything. He's never sitting still. There's always something else to do or something else to be thought about. And even if nothing happens of it, at least you're having the conversation, what else you could try and do to try and improve. I think that's how you move forward.
And that's quite interesting what you've touched upon, because it's kind of a personal relationship. A lot of the times you might get 20 horses from an owner and it's like, there you go, Tom, off you go and do the job. But from what you're saying, it's been one of personal development for you as well through your contact with Rogues.
I think so. I mean, Tone's great, he always sort of, as he said, give his opinion, but really lets us do as we please. And so that's great. But then we're just discussing things, whatever it is, as you say, sort of not just for the training, but just moving everything forward, moving the business forward, different ways of thinking about things. I think it's really important to always try and be open-minded, and he's got a lovely family that we all get on really well with, and the whole Rogues family, because we try and do lots with them and have lots of mornings in. It means you'll build up quite firm friendships and relationships, because you'll sing them together. I mean, it's great winning, of course it is, but it's got to be about the journey as well, and going to the sales or being around or having all friends. I think that's how things grow and move forward. And I just, I can't really explain where I would be without them. I just would have probably half the amount of horses, and it's just been the most amazing journey. And extraordinary really how we've sort of grown together.